Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Welcome, come in, sit down, grab a pew, and let's talk about my thoughts on Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame is too long. It is far too long. It stumbles around wasting time for 2 hours, and then it has an epic 52 minutes. Your money is worth it for the final 52 minutes of this film. No spoilers here, absolutely no spoilers here. But the final 52 minutes are really refreshing, pleasing, epic, exciting, shocking, emotional, and funny. But most of the funny stuff is in the initial 2 hours. But for me, this film is far too long. There was no need for this film to be as long as it was. This really is a film about the original Avengers. This is kind of the final chapter of Phase 3, if you like. It is Phase 3, isn't it? I can never keep up. But yeah, this is the final chapter. Or is it? Well, you'll have to watch the film to find out. But I do feel that Spider-Man Far From Home is actually the final chapter of Phase 3. Now, that's very interesting. I did see a test screening. I've got a couple of test screenings to do individual videos about, and I will talk about them at another time. But definitely, I think this is kind of the final chapter of Phase 3, but I think that Spider-Man Far From Home really does finish that off. But we're not here to talk about that film. We're here to talk about this film. And basically, right, this film, it was really surprising because, let me be clear, Avengers Infinity War is a much better film in so many ways. But my issue was from the very beginning, they've just killed off a bunch of characters that most probably they're going to bring back to life. Zero consequences. Now, again, no spoilers, but we all know what's going to happen in this film. We can all, even if you haven't seen this film, you can kind of guess what's going to happen here. But as I say, the final act, surprisingly, is the best thing about this film. In fact, this film could have been 52 minutes and 30 seconds and nobody would have cared, because the first 2 hours, as I say, there is a lot of time wasting. There are some good scenes in that 2 hours, but nothing to get overly excited about. And as I say, it's a lot of fun. It's exciting. It's not the best superhero film. It's not what the critics are calling it. I'm surprised with some of the reactions. Two of the most honest reactions are from John Campion, and I forgot the other guy's name. Now, actually, Campion and the other guys' reactions that I saw are normally Marvel shields, but they were actually really honest. This is not a bad movie. This is not a disappointing movie. You will be satisfied by the end of this movie, but I don't think it's as good as Infinity War. And I think that was a really hard act to follow anyway. But as I say, it is a film about the original Avengers, and I think that's the best thing about this film, that the characters that we want to see are in the forefront of this movie, because the truth is, most of us didn't go into this film wanting lots of Captain Marvel or kind of Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie. It really was about the original Avengers, and that's why we're so invested in this franchise, is for those characters. Robert Downey Jr. can play Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, in his sleep. He's a lot better. He's a lot better than the movies that he gets. I mean, this is a guy, as a young man, who played Chaplin, who was robbed at the Oscars. This was a guy going places. Then he went to prison for drugs. He came out. Then Feige gave him this opportunity, and he took it, and it relaunched his career. And of course, he's really, really grateful for that, and that's why he stuck around for such a long time. His big pay balance, obviously, is another reason why he stuck around. Again, no spoilers from me. I'm going to give this film an 8.5 out of 10. It is, as I say, By the end of the film, you will be very, very satisfied. But my final line, as I've said a couple of times, this film is far too long.